It is Sunday, end of a 90-mile week. A good rest day. Don't know how many more of these we're going to get as the marathon block is truly starting, and usually we at least do a shakeout here on Sundays, but it was a good week. The first half of the week honestly felt pretty miserable. I've had some back pain all week. Got a little sick after overheating on my Monday runs and my Tuesday workout, but overall was able to overcome that. We did two 1K workouts. On Tuesday was more threshold, 10 by K. On Friday, we did some 1Ks and 1Ks breakdowns on the track. Closed that workout with an all-out 200. Tried to run as hard as I could, see if I could break 30. You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Enjoy.
Flames, they keep saying that
like 3 miles into our Monday run. Doing 10 this morning. Went to work, had to leave the house around 6, so doing it on a break from work. Plan will be a 10-4 double today, but knocking this one out. Last week, hit around 80 miles. This week, we'll run right around there, maybe a little bit more. Really was supposed to be closer to 70 last week. Being at camp, ended up adding a double that wasn't on the schedule, so ended up getting 80, but felt good. Yesterday was able to relax, watch World Cup. Then had to get my wife to watch the previous Spider-Man, as we hope to go watch the new one here in the next 2 weeks whenever it comes out. But on tap this week, we got 2 workouts. Just progressing the first one a little bit more than what we did last week. So last week you saw we did 7 by 1K. This week, we'll be doing 10 by 1K. Goal is to work down from 315 to 305. And then on Friday, we'll be hitting the track, getting some speed work in, and we'll be trying to really get a little bit of a 5K simulation in. We'll have 1Ks and then 1K cut downs. Outside of that, we're doing a lot of easy mileage. Tuning up for the Lifeman Stride 5K next weekend. So be exciting. Hopefully you can go between 1440 and 15 flat. Have a crew of guys looking to break 15. So that's gonna be the goal, but we're gonna finish this run. Then we will get back to work, double later. Thanks for tuning in again this week. Hope you enjoy. Wow, 9.5 miles in, almost done. We are stopping when I get to Starbucks. It is hot, I am sweaty. This is not fun. Heart rate is mega high, so just gotta finish up the top of this hill. So there we go. It is a workout morning. It is currently 5:30 a.m. and my car is reading 78 degrees. So nice and warm this morning, about 90 to 95% humidity. But we're gonna get after it. We've got threshold Ks again this week. So we did those last week. We ended up doing 7 of those, so riding around 315. Today we're taking a pretty big jump where the goal is to run 10 at 312 down to 308. That effort might start a little bit slower just based off of the weather and adjusting from there. But Adrian is gonna hop on the bike, so you will get a few videos of the workout. But it's going to look very similar to last week. We're going to the same spot. We're going to Veterans Park here in Lexington. Just a nice flat 1K stretch that we can do that at. And then we will get to work. Got to work at 8. So we'll have to leave straight from the workout to get to work. But should have a little bit more time than we did last week to sort of decompress and get cleaned up after the workout. 14 miles done. There is not much more that's humbling than trying to get back in shape during the summer. Very, very tough workout today. Ended up opening the first like 5 or 6 Ks around 310 to 312, which is right around the range I was supposed to hit. But really from there had to back off pretty dramatically. My heart rate was in the 170s. We're starting to creep up there, and that's usually around what I race a 5K at. And so it was a little bit over my threshold zone. So really at that point, just decided to back off, try to run 318 to 320, keep the heart rate in the right zone. The last 2 reps, really just decided to break those up, cut them in half and do 600, 400 with 30 seconds rest in between those. And heart rate was still getting up to 170, but was able to be on the pace a little bit better. But very, very tough day. It is very hot. Glad the sun is not out at this point. But it is just extremely humid. I drank 48 ounces of water during that workout. Unfortunately, that means I'm out of water, but we are gonna go clean up and get ready for work. Good morning, it is Thursday. Just finished up a 10-mile run. We did 10 yesterday with our run group, so that was fun. 2 easy 10-mile runs. Really had to be intentional about slowing down the paces as this heat has been absolutely crushing me. But today it is 58 degrees, so it was very nice this morning, being able to get out and run. Beat the sun, obviously. You see it rising in the background. It'll be a little bit warmer later when I do my double, but should be fine. But hopefully we get this weather tomorrow for the workout. We've got Ks plus some K breakdowns on the track. We'll explain the details tomorrow. You'll be able to get some footage from Adrian as she's going to come out to the track in Versailles. Should be a good time, a fun workout that I've done in the past and that I've given my athletes in the past, but have had a little bit of a knot in my back throughout this week. Hopefully I'm able to work that out tonight, so be loose and ready to go for the workout tomorrow. But we got 5 miles later, 5 miles in strides, and we'll do that on our lunch break during work, and then have a friend come over for dinner, so it'll be exciting. Just finished warming up. We did 3.5 miles this morning, got to the track at around 5:45. It's nice to have a public track, but it is a 30-minute drive, so early mornings when we come out here, but the weather's great. We have an old Vin Lanano workout. So Vin was a coach at Stanford in Oregon, and this was a workout that I programmed to a bunch of my athletes, so it's sort of nice to be able to do this. But it's going to be 4 by K, and then we're going to do some broken Ks, 500, 300, 200, 2 more Ks, and then another 500, 300, 200. So 8K of work today. It's going to be 10K down to 5K pace. Hopefully the legs feel good. Back's been sore. HRV's been a little low this week. I think just struggling with some heat and some sickness, but we're going to get after it, see how those paces feel, and then Adrian's going to be on the bike, and we'll get to it. Man, it's just easy. With a very slow estimate.
So fast. Two more Ks.
And we do that again.
Well, Ks should feel good now.
I hope. So there the boys can come in.
K felt too easy.
Casey's just way too bad. Came through 500 all day. Felt like I was slowing down, so I picked it up. All right, 251. We're gonna fill that on. A little more control though. That close better. Open slower. I wasn't trying to run any faster than I did the first time.
Shorter from here.
I know. 500 to go. Seeing if I can match Josh Kerr's mile world record pace. Workout went well. Ended up doing like 6 Ks, average 258 for him, close in 252 to 251. Cut times, honestly, was not sure how those were going to go. It's the fastest I had run since the marathon. But those went well. You'll see the splits on the screen, but really pleased overall with how it went. 3.5 mile warm up, 2.5 mile cool down to get 14 in so far, and we'll double later and long run tomorrow. But given how I'd felt all week, given how I felt this morning, super pleased. Life in Stride 5K in 1 week, and I'm hoping to jump in, race with Chris and some other guys, and break 15. It'd be a fun group over there. But overall, good workout. We're gonna hopefully group up with some guys tomorrow for 18 miles and wrap up the week. Getting out early this Saturday morning to get a long run in. It sounds like we have a little bit of a group that's forming, so that'll be fun. I usually do most of my long runs by myself, and so I'll be excited to get some miles in with some other people. Just have some guys that have reached out and said that they wanted to join, and then invited some more. So we'll see how many come. I know at least 2 other that are going to be there confirmed, but hopefully some others will tag along. But we'll do around 2-ish hours a day, do some strides after. With given the workout yesterday, everything feels great. Did 4 miles on my double yesterday afternoon, and that was probably the best I had felt all week. So after the heat sort of cooked me Monday and Tuesday, I think I had a little bit of heat exhaustion. Felt pretty bad just in life and in running, but I think we're on the other side of it, getting ready to tune up and get ready to race for the first time in a month next week. So that'll be exciting. But first off, we got to get this long run done. A beautiful morning down here on the Legacy Trail. We got a 5K that's happening right now. So rated those guys a little bit, but not too big of a deal. But I actually had a crew today. Didn't get any footage during the run, as it was some guys that hadn't linked up with in a bit, but was able to run with a handful of 2:30 marathoners. And so there's too many runners in Lexington to not run together. So hopefully that's something that we're able to do, is to actually link up a little bit more. I'm getting some groups to run together, but ended up doing 18, did some strides afterwards to get about 18 and a quarter in. That wraps up 90 miles on the week. We're going to take tomorrow off, work on this video, work on some training plans, and be able to sort of just rest. And so that'll be needed. Big week this week. We're 1 week out from racing a 5K. So excited for that, especially with some confidence from yesterday's workout. And so we're really just ready to go for next week. 1 workout next week on Tuesday, drop in mileage. And then after the 5K, it's marathon season.